Don't play that there is no war in bossing say bullshit is a line that I just wrote in this letter that I wrote to all of my past friends and acquaintances that I just posted on Facebook, and I really want to read the whole thing to you guys. It's going to be like 5-10 minutes long. It feels very important and very relevant to just everything going on right now, and I feel like I captured it very well in like 2 to 3 pages. So bear with me. I love you guys. Let's get into it. Hey friends, please read all of this to the end. I know this will lose some of you, and that's okay. I also know it'll connect with exactly who it needs to because there is no such thing as coincidence. I've put myself on a lot of lists and lost a lot of people by using my voice and various platforms to speak up these past few years. It's no longer left versus right, and it never has been. It's all been a distraction from the terrible shit happening behind closed doors, mostly to minorities, women, people of color, children, you name it. But movies like A Bug's Life, Hunger Games, Wall-E, Jupiter Ascending, and more didn't say run and hide when our fellow humans and the planet herself cried out for help and needed us most. That's making me like tear up already reading it back. Fuck. I don't play that there is no war in bossing say bullshit. I stood up for myself and my fellow bullied underdogs to all the loud, mean adults as a kid, and I sure as shit am not about to sit pretty or bend the knee to these pathetic pedophile Nazi motherfuckers trying to run the planet and her people into the ground now. They use fear, anxiety, manipulation, propaganda, deception, lies, and every dirty trick in the book to historically do just about every evil thing possible to everything around, all for money and power. With the current state of things and ICE at the airports, 14 and counting so far, and what's become my life's work, speaking up against the government and all the bad guys, I really think it would be wise/safer for me to try to jump ship soon, while that's still a semi-viable option. This is going to be long, but it's where I've been the past few years and where I'm going with the rest of my life, and hopefully a good chunk of the rest of the world. If you see this, I'd love to hear from you and reconnect, and I've probably been thinking about you in all this lately. The CIA knows we don't ever really die, the universe is a hologram, and each individual piece can recreate the whole hologram, whatever that means. Everything is just energetic grids at different frequencies, like Tartarian bells, old world architecture, colleges and banks and churches, quote unquote, in stolen buildings, plasma and ether and free energy. The future can be seen with complete accuracy. They've been messing around with global weather modification since at least the 1920s to 1930s, and AI and Photoshop since probably the 1950s or earlier, and a whole bunch of other really insane shit that they spent your tax dollars learning by experimenting on us like lab rats. And this isn't even 1% of it all, just like how the files are the tip of another titanic iceberg. It's all of it, and it's all connected in one big ugly rat king at the roots. Education, the for-profit prison system, war and the military-industrial complex, big pharma, the cult of religion, every single part of control and power and abuse. Every single cog in the machine of capitalism was perfectly engineered to break us and take from us and turn us into mindless consuming cattle. At this point, I'm willing to unlearn everything I was fed to be truth by the ones hiding literal body counts. We should all be questioning the narrative and doing our own research instead of just comfortably eating forkfuls of the propaganda pasta. Bars. We remember the Alamo and the Panama Papers here. Bars again! The return of consciousness to the absolute does not imply an extinction of the separate entity which the consciousness organized and sustained in reality. Rather, it suggests a differentiated consciousness which merges with and participates in the universal consciousness and infinity of the absolute, without losing the separate identity and accumulated self-knowledge which its memories confer upon it. In the case of the future, because all of the consequences of the past and present can be seen coming together in the hologram, such that the future can be predicted or seen with total accuracy, just for a taste of some of their supply. The CIA, I mean. That was directly from the CIA, the Gateway process. I am a researcher of the crumbling systems, an archiver of the things they want overlooked, a documenter of the ideas they want forgotten to time and corners of locked vaults, a cosmic connector of the patterns repeated throughout our history books and now playing out in real time in front of our very faces as our peers turn their heads or numb in their screens. A rememberer of Tartaria and the old world and the architecture that doesn't fit any of the narrative once it's questioned. A storyteller of the people and the ruins of their homelands they want silenced in the wake of their genocides and their war crimes. Not a red versus blue, two sides of the same evil coin, ruining all of our lives for fun and shareholder profit, they. An up versus down they. A 53 plus miles of underground special requested Vatican archives they. A CIA declassified documents they. A military/government psyop and FOIA log request ridden they. An Israel they, established right around the CIA's establishment. A rich old white men they. An Epstein class they. An evil pedophile predator they. A globally interconnected Wizard of Oz of military-industrial complex and defense contractor financial backing they. Now, none of what's happening in the past, what's happening right now, or what's going to happen in the future is a coincidence. Just a lot of rabbit holes, research, paper trails of stupid legal jargon, an insane amount of wasted resources and potential, and pattern recognition. It's all cycles, energetic loops, karmic patterns, generational curses, reincarnation, energetic manipulation and distortion, and spiritual warfare. The government and the military know it. They employ psychics and all kinds of gifted people. They've been experimenting with all kinds of things since at least the 1920s or 30s, and have been openly giving us part of the paper trails since the 1990s. They never ended MK Ultra. I cannot stress that enough. They never ended MK Ultra. They never stopped doing these weird psyops and FOIA log things that they're hiding in the dark and releasing to us 20 or 50 or more years later. They never stopped. They got better at hiding things. They got better at covering them up and hiring contractors and hiding it under weird names and shell corporations and shit like that. Like I said, we remember the Alamo and the Panama Papers. I was a gate kid, and my gifts have been coming online since childhood and only getting stronger with age and more honed the more I follow and trust them. I've been called to follow so many ideas, and I'm being called to travel to so many places too. I've spent countless hours tracking military flights, which is how I learned ICE was working with every branch of the American military weeks or maybe even months before it hit the news. Reading CIA receipts, government, military psyops, declassified documents, FOIA logs, even requested some of my very own. Documenting and calling various three-letter agencies, creating content educating others and spreading awareness, mapping the interconnectedness of it all and connecting even more dots as time goes by, connecting to my intuition and getting even stronger downloads that lead me to even more pieces and verified proof of my gut feelings, etc. I've gone viral and global with my work and connected with more stories and communities and whistleblowers and people from more walks of life than I can count, but it's well into the several millions as of years ago already. I'm not perfect, but I'm doing my best and getting better day by day. Can't be worse than the people running our country while literally assaulting and eating kids in weird rituals I wish I was just crazy or kidding about. It's insane seeing how well-spoken I've become, how much I can see of it all, how sturdy and confident my voice has become, how much I've been able to do and think about and piece together, how many connections I've made and communities I've formed with millions of other people and growing daily. It's truly blowing my mind to see it all reflected back in front of me from the past few years like this in a way I don't think I can properly put into words. It's been a time. I swear to God, I'm not trying to ignore anyone. I've been busy fighting censorship hell and trying to save the world. All while busy, constantly overstimulated and energetically drained by gestures at kind of everything. If it hasn't been feeding, fucking, or financing me, I haven't had energy to spare for it most days. Because this whole capitalist machine is set to drain every drop from you and keep you trapped in it, endlessly producing for the goddamn CEOs and shareholders. I need time to respond like it's being delivered by some dude on horseback over mountains and through rivers and past bridge trolls still. Or a face-to-face hangout. Those are my favorites. The only real security in this hologram is your own internal alignment. If you made it this far, thank you so much for your energy and eyeballs, and please support me on this wild journey if you're able to in any way, shape, or form. Every single bit helps. My main GoFundMe is, I'll link it in my description for y'all if anyone's curious and wants to help. If anyone is able to donate even $1. The idea of leaving breaks my heart, but the idea of traveling fuels my soul. And when I fear being hunted for sport by the government who's also poisoning all of our food as they gaslight us, I don't think I can be my best version of self here in this country any longer. For anyone curious to see some of my work, it's a bit of everything, TBH. I'm at Tiffany underscore Heffelfinger on YouTube and at Tiffany Heffelfinger on Instagram and TikTok. Figuring out how to document / research / share / cross-post / learn / educate about all of this by myself has been a lot, to say the least. I'm trying to get everything cross-posted and archived, especially on my YouTube, but I have literally months, if not a year or more, of backlogged content already from my past band profiles, plus an endless stream of new ideas all the time, and even more being fed into me daily across all my platforms by my entire collective who's awake and aware of all of it too. I've been a very busy lady jobbing my love. And then I said, TLDR, government slash military slash people in charge, all connected and very bad and corrupt. It's my life's work to expose it using all their paper trails and help humanity build better systems with all the patterns I see and skills I have. I'm trying to leave the country before they fully Handmaid's Tale this bitch and start trying to hunt people who speak up like me for sport. I want to reconnect with everyone but have basically no energy because capitalism is built to drain it all. I'm tired, Grandpa, but it's gonna be okay. Love will win. How are you using the tools of your oppression as the tools of your liberation? It only takes 3.5% of a population historically to enact massive positive change, and we are the fucking 99%. I love saying that. That entire quote, the how are you using the tools of your liberation as the tools of your oppression, and the whole we are the 99% and reminding us of our power and our numbers. Some of my favorite fucking things to quote in the entire freaking world. But I hope you guys got something out of that letter the same way I did, and you felt witnessed and not alone, because you're not alone. We are the 99%. You're not crazy for seeing this and seeing the patterns and reading into it and feeling like things are weird and fucked up and connected. Things are weird and fucked up and connected, and we need to start speaking about it and taking our own power back because we deserve it. We deserve to live in a world that isn't run by people trying to hurt us and take advantage of us and upsell us at every corner and scam us everywhere we turn. We deserve food and water and shelter and basic healthcare and education. Crazy, I know. And we can have that. We have more than the means, the capability, the tools, the resources, the skills, the ability. We just got to claim it. And now's our time. I love you.